is Simply Living and welcome to today's episode. If you're new here, my name is Ibeth and I typically do DIY decor videos on this channel. Since we are a single income source family, it has been a bit of a challenge decorating on a budget, which is why I wanted to share what I have done with our home while trying to stay on a budget. I strongly believe that you don't have to buy super expensive pieces to decorate your home or to make them look Pinterest worthy. So if you're intrigued, make sure to subscribe to my channel and let's get into the video. So today I wanted to share with you 3 DIY macrame projects that I have been wanting to make for a really long time, but since the pandemic hit, macrame cord had been sold out everywhere for a really long time, and I finally got my hands on a roll. Now I did buy this on Amazon and I think that I got a pretty good deal because this roll came with 244 yards of macrame cord, and this cost me about $23.99 I believe, and I have gotten 3 or 4 projects out of this roll and I still have about a quarter left. If you're interested, I will link it down below for you. So I am not a professional when it comes to macrame. This was my first time attempting it, so if you know where I went wrong, please let me know because I'm still learning and I would love to get better at it because I have so many ideas that projects that I want to make. This was my first time attempting it and I think that it went pretty well. The good thing about macrame is that it's all just tying knots, so if you mess up you can undo it and try it again. Practice makes perfect, and I really believe that I did practice a lot with one of my projects, which you'll see. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and let's get into the video. First project is going to be a macrame coaster, and this is what you're going to need. You will need 1 long 5 feet cord and then 5 30-inch cords. You're going to grab the 5 feet long cord and you're going to make a loop like so. Then you will grab one of the 30-inch cords, fold it in half, and then you're going to bring it underneath the loop that you created, fold it down, and then pull the ends up through the loop again and pull, and then you'll be doing this to the rest of the 5 cords. Once you've tied all 5 cords, you're going to pull the longer cord like so. Now to make it easier for you, I would start with the 5 feet long cord on the left, and then that's going to be your holding cord, so you're going to overlap it with the first one, make a 4, make a knot, and pull it through. Full half hitch knot means that you are tying 2 knots per cord, so you're doing this with all of the cords, and then this is actually helping you go around and around. And one thing that I do suggest is that when you're pulling or when you're tying a knot, hold the holding cord upright or pull it right so that it actually helps the knot go around. If that makes any sense, you'll see, because if you just pull straight across, the knot is going to go down instead of around. Like I said, this is pretty repetitive. This is all you're doing, just tying knots, and then they're going around and around. If you do get gaps, feel free to add a cord simply by adding a reverse lark's head knot to the holding cord. Don't be afraid to add them whenever you see gaps. It'll look nicer that way, I promise. And then comes the cutting. Cut them at the desired length and then do the fraying with the comb. And then the final touches. So there was a few gaps from the shorter cords actually right here, and which is why I'm going to cut shorter, and I'm just pretty much guiding myself with that and just going all the way around. And here they are. I did make 2 coasters because one was my trial. You can use them as coasters or just as a decor item in your vanity, your bathroom, your coffee table. They're so cute just alone like that as well. Next up is going to be a macrame mandala, and here's what you're going to need. For the first set, you're going to need 7 cords at a 42-inch length. You fold the cord in half and you put it over the ring and then pull the rest of the cord through the loop that you create. I'm not the best at explaining how to DIY this. It was really hard for me actually, just because I overthink everything. So just a few tips that I do have for you guys is whenever you are pulling or tightening the the knot, what I recommend is that you pull in the direction that you want the knot to go to. I know this may sound a little bit weird or might not make any sense, but I will link the video down below, the one that I watched or as I did this, and she does explain everything pretty straightforward. The only thing is that I just was tightening my knots like I would when I would tighten any knot, you know, or when you're tying something together. Something I learned is that you're supposed to pull cord in a certain direction so that the knot goes into the direction that you want it to. Sixth cord from your left becomes the holding cord, and you pull over the fifth, and then you make a 4 with the fifth cord, and then make a knot, and you pull upwards, and don't tighten too much because it'll be easier for you if you're a beginner, and you do this twice. And then to close the V, we are going to overlap the left cord over the right one. As you see here, make a 4, make a knot, and pull upwards as well, and then pull the holding cord towards your right because it's gonna bring it inwards, if that makes any sense. Don't worry, you guys, if you're a beginner, the cool thing about macrame is that you can untie it and start all over. I started over so many times because I am a perfectionist, and I was like, okay, what's going on? It doesn't look right, or it doesn't look like the picture or the video that I'm watching. But practice makes perfect. It's just tying, you guys. It's just the rules of macrame I'm not really familiar with, which is why I decided to watch a video, and it helped a lot. I will link it down below for you guys, just like I mentioned earlier, and just follow her steps. Her steps are so easy. It's just me, I overthink it all, but it's nothing too complicated. It's just double knots, which means that you're doing 2 knots for every like little pattern, I guess you can call it, and pulling it into a certain direction, and then you unite them and then create V's, and it's just really simple. It's just like I said, I'm just overthink everything, but I really recommend that you try it. It was really fun learning something new. So here is one set. One set requires 7 42-inch length cords, and you just make as many as you need for the size of your ring. I think I used maybe 11 sets for a 14-inch ring, I'm sorry. And then in the end, we're gonna unite them all together. Again, watch her video because I'm not very good at explaining, but I just wanted to share with you how mine turned out. Once they're all united, I am going to trim them, and I'm gonna leave them at 2 inches long. Oh, and by the way, I'm saving the ends for another project that I'm gonna show you. Then after we're done, we are going to fray the ends with a comb. I've seen people use a doggy comb, but I didn't want to use that, so I am using a regular comb instead, and this is what it looks like so far. So you see how on one end, so for example right here, these little hairs all go one direction, right? So they all go this way, and then these right here go across this way. So what I'm going to do is just do per section. To where? Okay, so I went back and cut at an angle inwards instead of cutting straight, just because it wasn't giving me the effect that I wanted. It still looked rounded, and I wanted the mandala to be more precise. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you can definitely see the difference, and I'm going to show you in a second like what the difference looks when I'm trimming at an angle versus straight across. So here's the difference between cutting them at an angle versus cutting them straight across. It actually made it look more refined, and I went with that. Quick little tip for you guys is to spray it down with Scotch Guard. This will help whenever you want to clean it. It's easier to dust away, and it'll also help you stiffen up the fraying so that when you hang it, the fraying doesn't fall over. And here she is. Oh my god, I cannot believe that I made this. I'm so proud, and it looks so good above my nightstand. And I'm still debating whether I want to add a mirror to it or just leave it like this, but so far I'm really happy with it. For the next project, I am going to be making a macrame leaf. I am using the leftover pieces from the macrame mandala. I separated the pieces into 3 different sections just to make it easier for me. And what I'm going to do here is grab a long piece of cord and make a loop, which is going to help me when I hang it. And then all I'm going to do is fold the pieces in half. And then as you can see here, we put it underneath the main cord, and then we grab another strand and feed it through the loop and then over and then into the other end loop, if that makes any sense. And then we just pull and tighten, and then you keep tying more pieces together, as many pieces as you like. That's gonna depend on how long or how big you want your leaf to be, and then you just go from there. Once you have your desired length, we're going to fray the ends as well. Something I did find easier was to unwind the cord one at a time. It actually helps with the fraying faster, just so that it doesn't get like tangled up in the comb and ends up ruining it. Next up is going to be the trimming. Now you should have a picture for reference because I thought I knew what a leaf looked like, and it looked a little weird at first, but eventually I made it work. Now if you are going to hang your macrame leaf, I recommend that you use a cardboard on the back of it, which is what I'm doing here. I traced the leaf and then just cut the leaf slightly smaller, like the leaf on the cardboard, just so that I wouldn't have any visible cardboard when I would hang it. But make sure that you first like move it around. Make sure that before you glue it, you make sure that you have it the way that you want and there's no visible cardboard spots. Now to glue it, you can use anything that you have in hand, but I would highly recommend to use a spray adhesive just because it works better and you won't have like uneven glued spots, if that makes any sense. And before you do stick the leaf on there, you just have to leave it like for a minute or so before you actually put it on the cardboard or on the glue, just so that it can get tacky, and then brush it through so that it looks nice and pretty. And since I still have wood beads in my craft drawer, I decided to add a few, and I thought it would look really cute. And here she is. Definitely another learning curve as well, but I'm pretty happy with it, and I really needed some boho decor in my kitchen as well. That is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!